Hi everyone, we're going to talk about bad or just questionable Sonic box art. Games over the years have had so many different styles, and hell, the characters had so many different models.
Look, we're just desperate for content. We need to do anything.
We've sunk.
Let me start that video over then. Hi everyone, we're desperate and we're scraping the bottom of the barrel today. The bottom of the box art barrel, that is. See, it's all full circle. So we're just gonna. That's the whole idea.
We're just hanging out.
I'm trying to keep it. I keep trying to explain the idea, but I think people get it.
I guess we should put ourselves in the right place, okay? Imagine you are 8 years old, unless you are 8 years old, and if you are, you should probably close this. But imagine
close
if you
this
were.
video if you are 8 years old right now.
That's what I would suggest if I was a parent. I would say no.
I gotta go.
We're an E10 plus channel.
That's right. We're allowed to say "damn, not here," and that's it.
Peggy 12.
So imagine, if you will, you are an 8-year-old child, and you are standing in a place of commercial sales, perhaps a Toys R Us, perhaps a Target. I don't know.
This feels less like I'm imagining I'm an 8-year-old, and I'm just imagining being you as an 8-year-old.
Right. Imagine, if you will, being me as an 8-year-old child, and you are standing inside a place called Children's Palace, which no longer exists. Actually, it might have closed before I turned 8. Yeah, well, Children's Palace was a place that, that's where I got my first video games. That's where I got a Game Boy, but that has nothing to do with Sonic. So imagine, if you will, okay, look, Toys R Us is the thing people know. Imagine you're standing in the video game aisle of Toys R Us, and there's like a kiosk that's always being used, and you just see a wall of pieces of paper and a badly photocopied image of a cover of a box art. And you're staring at it and you're like, what should I buy? And so you see, some really amazing box art for games, and they're all escaping me. But then you look over and you see Sonic, and you see the art.
There he is.
And imagine being 8 and looking at it and going,
every Sonic game in the world's here.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't think I'm legally allowed to be around this much Sonic at once.
So imagine you're seeing all the Sonic games in a row, and your mother says, which one do you want? And you point, but she doesn't see where you point, and instead she reaches towards the one you definitely do not want.
And she buys you the Catwoman adaptation game starring Halle Berry. Fucking fun.
Yes. What box art would that be? And that's the journey we're going to go on. But before we get to the worst, we would just get to the ones that are
the ones that make us go,
I wouldn't have made that choice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to submit one to the council and start this off then.
All right.
Let's do it.
This one, it's not like uproariously bad, but I look at it and I'm just like, this is the best idea you had? Mm-hmm. And granted, it's not for a good game. It's for Sonic Blast on the Game Gear. What's he doing?
I picked this one as well.
You also picked this
one.
one.
Of mine too.
Right. In fact, I would also say that you might want to look at the I'm just gonna throw in a slightly different one that's exactly the same but almost. You see how it's...
I would say the Game Gear one is worse.
Right.
The one you posted, because that one looks,
they're both Game Gear.
They're both Game Gear. It's both the same game, same assets, but I feel like you have to talk about both because the only difference is Sonic is slightly shifted to the right.
And the second one looks like a bad photocopied version of like it didn't have enough ink in it, so it just went all
right. That's the Toys R Us version. Is the one. And Chris posted what you get in hand, and you're like, oh, maybe my mother made a good choice. She didn't.
Sonic Blast.
In context too, because it's like you had 3D Blast, which already looked like it had minimal effort put in to put like Sonic and a Badnik on the cover. And it's like, okay, how do we do this, but do it worse?
But
with even less effort.
What if we stood him next to an active magma lava flow that's very tiny? He picked the world's smallest lava waterfall to be like, yeah, I'm here. I'm running away from a wall I am 1 inch away from.
Yeah.
I don't think it's small. I think it's supposed to be in the background, but that would mean Sonic's running in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did he just like... Did his butt get hit by lava and he's flying
Oh God,
out?
what's wrong
He's
with
like,
his
"Oh."
fingers?
I love I love that Sonic having buckles on his shoes was only in Japan so much that he didn't even have buckles in the box art in the West.
That's right. The buckles, right? They were nowhere to be seen in the original sprite art. Nobody knew, because nobody knew. I guess Madeline Schroeder saw the buckle and buried it under in a shallow buckle grave behind Sega of America's headquarters. And nobody.
We are an Aglet family in this town.
Yeah, so it's man, it's strange, isn't it? But those fingers. You brought up the fingers. They're very defined, but in a bad way. Like, yeah. Okay, so the Genesis version.
I would describe it very skeletal. Word that comes to mind.
Oh yeah. That's a good word. I like that word. Skeletal, Skeletor.
I describe it as several different geometric shapes, and the people who were designing a hand were like, "How do you model a hand? Put some tubes in there. It'll work."
Several separate geometric shapes that just happen to inhabit the same vicinity.
Yeah, the human hand.
Pretty much.
Right, and I guess the hand slightly gets better as you look at the better systems, because if you do compare it to the 3D Blast Saturn cover, his hands are, I think, like, he looks a lot better in that one, right? So you have there's that evolution. So he's running through the Bitaverse. What would you call that? I don't know. I
really like the design of the Saturn 3 Blast. I feel like it's a good mixture of polygonal, like in polygon, like he looks 3D, but he also has a lot of like cartoony, like if you look at his face, it looks like a 2D like face. So it's like it doesn't have that weird slight uncanny valley-ness that like the Game Gear Sonic Blast has, where it's very Toy Story polygonal-esque.
They were trying so hard to make Sonic look good in 3D in these covers. It's like I said, probably because of the Uncanny Valley, but it just makes him look worse and worse. And it kind of is what led to a lot of some of Sonic's appeal. There was the try-hard nature of them trying to make him look so cool in graphics that were not really working. That then Sonic goes to 3D for reals, and then you have every article saying that he's having a hard time making it in 3D. Well, kind of did.
I will say that on the Game Gear, Sonic does look better than he does in the game itself.
Oh, for sure.
So
that's why this is bad box arts. Like we're just on that level.
Right. Man,
as someone who hasn't played it, David, is there a lava level in Sonic Blast?
Yes.
It's the red level.
Yeah. All those levels. It's been years since I've played Sonic Blast properly. They all kind of blend together.
I'm pretty sure the fire level is the second level, because I remember when I used to play Blast all the time as a kid. So it was like the first Green Hill one.
Poor thing.
And then it was because Knuckles was in it, and I'm like, oh man, I love Knuckles. I want to play more Knuckles. And so it was like I remember the first level was
gotta
the
have
Green
more
Hill,
Knuckles.
Whatever.
You do.
And then the second one was like a fire level, and I remember that always gave me trouble. So I was like, I'm not playing this game anymore.
Stefan, that's kind of like eating a piece of poo that has sprinkles on it because you like sprinkles.
Well, I guess it depends how strong those sprinkles are.
So you've played a Sonic game.
High quality sprinkles.
Hey.
Right. Yes.
Sprinkles.
Right, I get confused. Oh, it's just called Red Volcano. Okay, right, because I was thinking about the second one is the desert level, and it's very yellow, which looks like the box art, but the lava isn't yellow. I guess it's red in the game, but that doesn't matter.
And wasn't there a level in Sonic Extreme that was called like Red Sands, I think?
Yes, that.
Yeah.
But that's unrelated, because that game never came out, so it never had an official box art. We can't talk about it.
Oh, we were able to bring up fake games? Damn! All of my choices would have just been fan recreations of all these covers. I wouldn't have picked a real cover once. Damn.
There are a lot of good fan covers and a lot of bad ones.
Who would
Also,
do
I
that?
don't want to be rude.
Also, I love the face of the Caterkiller on the Genesis 3D Blast box. Also, never noticed
Like a Muppet.
I never noticed the slight blur on the Sonic model. Like that was something I just never noticed. But clicking on it, I'm like, oh, there actually is a blur effect. That's weird.
Yeah, he's moving.
I wanted you to know that Sonic still runs.
How does he
Blast,
Oh,
Right.
runs on the air above the bushes.
Yeah, he's not touching the ground anywhere in any of these covers.
In any of these.
Right, I guess there's like a bit of a blur effect in the Game Gear one too. Very, very slight.
I do.
But it's
So he
there.
came out
I
of the
do like-
waterfall there. Then this was
Yeah.
inferred.
So where did he come from? There's a lot of questions here.
Yes, where
We
did
need-
Sonic come from?
We need to dig deeper, I think.
I like how Sonic's spikes look so bad in Sonic Blast, but that's just because they're polygonal. But in Sonic 3D Blast, they just fucking Photoshop spikes on because they knew the 3D ones don't look good.
Huh? You know,
Those are just 2D drawings.
It's just
Now
a
that you mention
triangle
it-
just
Like,
jutting out of his head in the last cover.
Right. I guess it's like Mickey Mouse, you know? In whatever direction Mickey's looking, his ears are the same. So for Sonic in a 3D world, his spine should always be that way facing the player. Which gets really confusing when Sonic's looking straight at you. Or to this, like, I want... Those spines will be in his eyes at some point, and you're going to enjoy it, I think. The answer.
Chris, I know you want to save worst for last. Should we stay on topic of 3D Blast or keep moving?
oh, let's keep going. What do you have for us?
If we want to stick with bad polygonal 3D models of Sonic, this also might be cheating, but
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
man, I
Oh.
didn't pick that. No. Can I read you my list?
Right, I had that in the queue as well because I was like, this is an honorable
It is-
mention for
it
me.
is a classic of badness.
What are you talking about? Like, look, clearly the number 12 is just so tired from a long day of teaching class after class with no breaks whatsoever. Because we all know that Professor Sonic is the slavest of drivers.
Whoa.
I'm choosing to interpret it as that's a 7 facing the other way, and this 2's like, yeah, nice bunt. Nice.
Yes,
I mean,
or the
I'm-
numbers could be horny. That's just as likely.
It's always possible.
Oh, I just realized on the cover it says 2 + 10 = 12. I've never noticed that.
See, it gives you that one for free. You gotta install the game
We're
for the
learning
rest
so
of the
much
map.
already.
I've looked at that cover more than I should have, I'm sure, and it never occurred to me that the 12 is actually the answer because everything else on the chalkboard it says math, reading, and then there's a picture of a cat and just the letter C underneath it, so you don't know if it actually is a cat. It might say Carl underneath.
What I always loved is over $40 in savings on cool Sonic stuff.
What do you get?
I don't-
Keep on book on the side for details.
You know, I have
What do you get?
this game, but I don't think I got any cool savings. I think
Man.
I
On
think
Sonic stuff?
it might have been a re-release that removed the $40 worth of savings.
Oh, I wonder what's under that sticker then.
Right. So
Cockroach eggs, most likely at this point.
okay, here's the question. Since we're staring at the box, I need to know how many of you here have actually played this game.
Raise his hand. Yeah.
I've played it too. Yeah, played it on stream.
Oh, there you go. Now, did you succeed or did you mess up a few times?
Yeah, do we have alumni here or what?
I've played a Sonic game. It may not be the right Sonic game, but damn it, I've played it. No, but
Sorry,
because there's
but
like
I have not graduated from Sonic Schoolhouse yet.
Oh, you haven't printed out.
out.
You haven't printed out the full Gumball picture and hung it on your wall.
yeah, it gives you a whole certificate if you finish all the 3 big classes.
That's right. And then that's how you get to college.
David, don't bond with me over Sonic Schoolhouse. I won't allow it.
This isn't a box art thing. This is a game thing. But why does it go to 4th grade and not 5th?
Well,
too hard.
It got too complex with 5th grade.
David, what are the ramifications of the educational system on the floating islands? What were the ancient echidnas planned for an educated society?
Well,
self-taught or what
yeah, I believe what it is that
here we go.
Right. So in the Echidna society, every male seems to be a warrior because we don't see any other male echidnas other than the warriors and Pachacamac, and then the only girl that exists is Tikal, I guess. And I have a feeling that they didn't keep a school running around for her. So they go through K through 4. So that's 5 grades, 5 years of education. And then so when you are was that 9-10 years old, they're like you're done with school. You need to
Pokemon trainer.
You need to become you need to become a warrior, and this is the last thing.
Off to take down the mafia.
Yeah. Well, if we're thinking about the fact that like we look at kids in the Sonic universe, Tails doesn't seem to go to school. He's only 8, so clearly
he builds planes.
Right. He went to 4th grade. He graduated. He got his master's, and he moved on. So
makes sense.
Yeah, the school is very limited because it's so concentrated and powerful, just like the Echidna tribe. But see, Chaos, he went to 5th grade, and that's why he.
why he turned to water. It's what melted him. Damn that 5th grade us. So really, this game's pretty dangerous.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just don't get why some letters and numbers have eyes and some don't. I don't know. That's what I keep
Only
looking
some
at.
get to live.
Only some get the curse of living and feelings.
Do they all have eyes in the game? I feel like
some do. Yeah, you got the math challenges. You got like the music challenges too. There's like Breakout in there randomly as well.
Right, videos of random animals. Well, look, this box art I secretly love, so I don't know if it qualifies as bad, but it's a little bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's better than the original version of the box art. I'll give it that much.
I think it's safe to say that we like all of these box arts that we're going to be presenting today.
Mayhaps, but
Yeah.
I have one that I feel like I downright just makes me angry.
Interesting.
Go for it.
All right.
You want to save that.
So I
for
present
later.
before you all Sonic Advance 2, one of the worst covers.
Controversial.
Absolutely. For one, we will start with the fact that it's ripping off Sonic Advance 1. So I've seen it before, but I've seen it better. Number 2, the fact that everyone on this cover is absolutely happy and having a great time. They're laughing. I can't get any of these fucking Chaos Emeralds because it's impossible, and these animals are laughing. I think not. Your judgment.
You're laughing. I can't get any of the Chaos Emeralds, and you're laughing. Yes.
Even Knuckles is in like a pissed off stance, but he's like, I'm having a good time actually. I'm just not looking at anyone.
He's smiling. Look, Knuckles.
He's cheesing.
Yeah, he's relaxing. It's after Sonic Adventure 2, right? That means he's just hanging out. Master Emerald's safe and secure. It's not even in this game. It's in the next one. So he's just having a grand old time. And Tails
vacation.
is leaning over because he's going to fly.
Also, all the characters are like their generic PNGs that you see repeated in like a bunch of other different Sonic art.
That's
It's
right.
used
Sonic
in the
has
main
no
menu.
teeth.
Like, they didn't... And the background is just, again, it's the background for the first game, but to a different color.
What I dislike,
pretty-
and I know this is a very minor thing, that bottom right gray gradient with Sega on it, it just distracts me so fucking much. Like, just show
It's
his
so
hand.
boring.
Yeah.
His weird little whatever the hell he's doing with his fingers there. Maybe it's actually good that they're covering that up, because the more I look at that,
And that, too, it should be the focus of the cover, is Sonic doing the 2 with his fingers, but instead it's halfway cut off by the art itself.
yeah,
Oh,
that's a good point.
Then you're gonna get very upset at you would be very upset at the Japanese version of this cover.
Oh, no.
Which
do you have it?
well,
David?
I guess I can pull it up. It's an here.
That was so fast.
No.
Oh, Oh right, 'cause Japan
What
had the
game is this?
weird
Sonic Advance
the
Zero.
Wombat.
Sure.
Yeah, that's right. Sonic, you only see part of one finger there. Where's that coming from? Maybe that is.
Chris, good news. The
Oh.
official North American version, it does have the finger because I think that might be like the Europe version or something, but like then the North American one up there, the Sega, because it's THQ.
Right.
Yeah,
published it there. Yeah. So
are
Sega's
right. Remember
gone,
THQ.
but there's the finger.
That's a running
Yeah.
trend, though,
Okay.
that the European covers tend to also not be as good.
But then also,
Yeah.
you have the E for Everyone covering up Cream.
Oh, she's being censored.
Here's our new character rating the character.
Wazowski again. I still just feel like
This
he
was-
should be crossing his
It's
arms.
her first
and-
appearance.
yeah, and he's got like a little 2 out, and he's like could be being cool, but it's still like a little weird and out of the way. I don't know. He's like,
I'm gonna put the peace sign in your face.
"Ha-ha!
Right.
Take
I
that,
get.
Middle East." They don't like
I
it
guess-
over there, I think.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
that
know
wasn't
was-
like a dig on the Middle East. They just don't like the peace sign somewhere in there over there.
Oh, just somewhere. It doesn't matter where.
Well, no, it's like the whole reason that like Disney employees and stuff, they got to do like the 2-finger point, because even just like a 1-finger point for some cultures is offensive. Hand signs are just weird. Like they mean all kinds of different things, just depending on where on this rock you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if those fingers upset you, boy, do I have some fingers.
Oh, how many?
Show
This should
you.
just be the finger cast. That's what we're doing.
Could be.
Finally, another FTCR podcast. Oh,
There they are. I love
this is
Sonic
so
You took
boring.
one of
I
mine.
had that one too. I hate that. Yeah, we said we don't hate any of these, but no, I hate this one.
Oh.
I think this one is bad.
Oh.
This is really bad.
I didn't know you could hate anything. So.
Wow.
Well, see, the reason I hate it is because the regular Sonic 3 cover art is legit one of my favorite like Sonic covers of all time.
Regular?
No.
What do you mean
like
regular?
the North American Genesis box, like the normal one, because it is the correct one.
The
Yeah.
normal.
Be
The
careful
normal
with those
one.
words.
I love how Sonic
Careful
is.
with those words.
I love how Sonic is drawn on it. I love the art of Angel Island. I like the little thing of Knuckles hiding in the bushes. I just think like it looks so like aesthetically pleasing. And
Oh,
then you
that's
go
the
to
thing
Europe
from the
and it's just
Whitehead
like,
version. Oh, okay.
ah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And then you go to Europe and it's just like Sonic has a weird head, weird fingers, weird drawn knuckles. It's just weird. Carnival Night for some reason. Like the Sonic 3 is being covered up. And it's
Yeah.
like,
There's no tails.
Yeah. Tails, yeah. It's just
So are you just upset because it's reminding you of the barrel in Carnival Night? Is that really? It's the PTSD of the Carnival Night Zone, which is fine. That's
I
fine.
remember having trouble with the Carnival Night Zone barrel. It's just I just love the regular Sonic 3 cover, and I just don't like this Sonic at all.
I just realized something.
What?
Uh-oh.
Knuckles must have hurt or killed Tails and stole his buckles and put them on.
Oh.
Oh, I'm seeing that now.
New lore.
Yeah.
Tails isn't in this image. He's not here, but his buckles are here.
He's like, "You're next, buddy.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna take your
You don't have any jewelry on right
don't
now,
worry.
but we'll get you some and I'll take it."
Oh.
Oh no, see, Sonic's missing his buckles on his shoes. Knuckles took those too.
That's right.
Knuckles has all the buckles now.
He's ahead of its time. Well, it is the 90s, you know. Eventually, we're gonna get every Image comic ever. So you need as many buckles as you can fit on you. So he's not ahead of his time. He's actually perfectly in his time.
I think what bothers me about this European Bucks art is that there are a lot of individual elements of it I like. I really like this Carnival Night art. I like this weird chrome metallic version of Sonic, and that huge 3 looks interesting. I'm not even necessarily against Sonic's weird pose here, but it's just so... Your eyes can't like rest on one spot, you know? It's like everything's fighting each other for your attention. And then Knuckles is great, but what is he doing? I even like that they incorporate it, because in the stage, like, someone had to have seen that he hits the switch in that stage, and they're like, oh, we'll have him down here going, "Oh, you rascally hedgehog." But
I'm still so
What's
confused
going
why
on?
he has 4 fingers up on that cover, because like the way they have him up with 3 fingers with the
yeah.
thumb and the 2 fingers, like that looks way more aesthetically pleasing than like the middle 3 he has up in the North American version. Like I'd probably like cut the European's hand off,
Don't do that.
move it over there, and it would look nice. But why does he have
Yeah.
the
Don't do
4th
that.
finger up? Like I know it's because they're trying to make him do the finger wag and the
over
Sonic
there.
3 at the same time, but it's like you messed up the joke then. Now he doesn't
Well,
have the right
yeah.
amount of fingers raised.
No, the reason he's got the 4th finger is because it's Sonic 3 Part 1. He's showing you the 1.
Oh.
Because in the original version, it says Part 1 next to Knuckles.
Oh.
That's why
okay.
he's got the... So if they had kept this, that means Sonic and Knuckles, if it was called Sonic 3 Part 2, you'd have 5 fingers. He could just hold one hand.
I'm not going to
This just
say
goes
that
back
makes
to
it
Sonic
good.
2 being the 7th game, right? Like this is just all the shenanigans all over again.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what the extra finger's for. It's not just them being wild and crazy. It was meant to make sense.
That just raises further questions.
Right. Well, because I'm sure the reason they got rid of Part 1 is because they didn't want you to go, oh, I'm buying half a game. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Sonic 4 Episode 3 when?
Right. So
Ken
then I
Vallow
guess
said
I
never.
guess also for you, the ideal version of would be the Japanese Sonic 3 Sonic, because he's
Oh, yeah.
he looks like Sonic and he's got the 2 fingers and a thumb out. So.
Oh, there it
I've
is.
never
Japanese
understood-
art's so
I've never
good.
understood like the weird backgrounds of like the
Yep.
Japanese of the 3 Japanese Sonic box art.
What?
It's like,
I love it.
There,
Yeah, I think
it's
it's
great.
really cool. I just like never understood. It's just like a lot of weird aesthetic like vector graphics and
yeah,
designs.
it's that pop
Yeah.
art aesthetic because it's Sonic and he's hip and
Oh.
modern.
Yeah, I want a T-shirt of just that background.
Mhm.
You know?
That'd be cool, or like even just like maybe a blanket of that pattern.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
one. But yeah, so
Actually, yeah.
Excuse
probably-
me for enjoying cozy.
No, I think we're all with you. I just never thought about that. I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, actually, that is a nice idea.
Aw.
Especially if it's big enough for all of us.
Right,
Oh.
so the order would probably.
No
You see,
takers?
now it's
Oh.
weird. Yeah.
Well,
There's always room under the princess sleeping bag. You remember that?
Alright.
Hell yeah.
Well, I think we all do record right in the same bed, under the covers, holding.
Yeah.
Yes, David, that is me tickling your toes with my feet. Just go with it.
Right. Well, we got a flashlight, so we're able to see each other, and whoever's holding the flashlight gets to talk.
So who gets it next?
Well, you, because now I'm holding it.
But that's not a flashlight.
All right.
Uh,
I have. I'm just gonna throw this up.
Here we
Uh-oh.
go.
Yeah. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
oh, interesting.
There's
It's,
a good element of this, and it's that Sonic's. He's like, get out of here, Silver. It's me. I'm Sonic. That's the one good part of this.
It
But
sounded like a Rick and Morty Sonic.
thanks.
That's my
I'm glad
Fortnite
I'm that
character.
level. Yeah, I'm in Fortnite now.
It wasn't a compliment, but yeah.
Oh.
Hey, I'm Sonic.
I'm Sonic. Hey, guy.
Uh,
Right. Well, is he? Oh,
Shadow's Eye.
he's
Every time I look at this, I think of Shadow's Eye, and I hate it. It was so weird.
he.
Silver looks fine,
Right.
but Sonic just looks so
Sonic's like pushing
Like he's
Shadow
possessed.
Silver's head. You know.
Knuckles is shooting fireballs out of his fist.
Can you
Yes,
do
he
that in
does.
the game?
There are abilities in the game, and I played it like a month or two ago, and I don't remember at all what
So this
anyone
cover
does
lies.
in that
Not
game.
only is it bad, it lies.
Well, I mean, he might have some sort of fire thing. If only we had the internet to check.
Yeah, shame.
Uh,
Here's something I don't like that I just noticed for the 1st time. He's doing this weird, like, maybe he just came in from the side and he's kind of orienting himself, so maybe that makes this make sense. But look at his foot
Oh, his
behind him
hips.
and how it's bent, where the front of it is
Oh, yeah.
behind his belly.
oh,
How do you...
He's like, he's bow-legged.
Yeah, does he have like one horse knee? What is this?
Oh, you can't. That's not how you run. Sonic's gonna fall over.
It looks like his front leg extends into the center of his foot. Like there's equal amounts of foot in front and behind his ankle.
Oh, it didn't even occur to me that he's breaking his leg.
His limbs are so long too.
It gets worse the more we look at it. Fascinating.
He almost looks like his Sonic Rivals model in this. Or
yes.
Wow, he almost Riders. He looks like his Sonic Riders model in this. His hands and feet are so big. His legs are they're so long.
So bad.
This whole game is odd, but that cover it doesn't help. Sonic is so he's pushing on Silver's head, I guess, because he doesn't want you to realize Silver is in the game. He's like, just ignore him. Hey, it's just me, Sonic. There's no one else here.
We can't let IGN see you here, Silver. I'm sorry.
Right.
Don't let them. They'll lower our score at least 3 points. Even though I think Rivals did okay score-wise, right? Maybe?
Not in my book.
Rivals 2 is better,
book.
though.
Rivals
Rivals 2 is better in the sense that it is so much better in the sense that it makes Rivals 1 obsolete. Like, there's no reason to go back to Rivals 1.
Well, there's the story.
Story that doesn't have any voice acting and is like not like that interesting.
This isn't my submission, but I just want to post it to contrast because I actually forgot what Rivals 2's box art looked like.
Oh.
Once it's sent.
Okay.
Rivals 2 I think looks fine for what it is. It's just all the characters jumping.
Oh.
This looks like a pillowcase I would buy in Walmart back then.
Yeah, it literally looks like a Walmart poster.
Yeah. Although I'm a little confused by Rouge. I'm not sure what's going on in her head.
Hog.
She's
more
having
upset than determined. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Tails is extra mad in this one too.
Oh.
He's gonna bop someone.
That should have been his forces render. He's pissed off. He's like, how dare this happen? SBO's like, I'm being stepped on. There's a lot going on here and not a lot.
I mean, he might... never mind. I won't say that.
Oh god. So hold on. So then, kind of just going from this, since this has like a lot of characters, I just want to bring this one just kind of like as a blanket statement for like a time and a place. May I present Sonic Chronicles as cover art? Just because I feel like this is the epitome of just when they thought that they could do a Sonic cover that was just a close-up of Sonic and another character. And like, I know that's a broad enough term that it's gonna, but no, really. And with this one, it's like, yeah, cool, it's Sonic, whatever, space, I guess, but what do I get out of this? And then you actually play the game and it's just as worse, but I don't know, just the whole idea of, hey, let's make a cover. Well, here's our Sonic render. And who's our character? Just throw it on there. Boop. There we go.
It's Invader Zim with ram horns. No, those aren't rocks. Those are more echidna aliens, you fool. Yeah, this looks like it'd be a good comic cover, maybe?
Maybe.
I do think Sonic's drawn really well. I will say that at least.
Yeah, but nothing's going on in it. I think like one of the best box arts ever, and this is unrelated from Sonic.
Oh.
But like a box art that shows you what you're going to be doing in the game.
Here we go.
So that when you take one look at it, you know what you're going to be doing. And it's just like, why don't all box arts do
That's right.
that?
You're running away from a giant witch the entire time. She's behind you.
Getting jiggies. No. Going to witch doctors. Having your bird companion. Like, there's a lot here. You can extrapolate. What do you get from the good Sonic drawing above this? Like what is Sonic going to do there? Not drawing on your library of knowledge in your head. Like I get that that's an advantage for you, but other people don't get to use that.
Right. Well, I guess that character's supposed to be mysterious, but it is just kind of plopped there. I guess we can once again compare it to the Japanese version.
Damn it, you took the one I was waiting that was one of the ones I was going to bring. I was like, I'm going to be the cool guy and mention Sonic Chronicles Japanese cover, because who would remember that? But I forgot that I'm in a call with David the Lurker.
Nope, nothing is forgotten.
Right. Because it's so I like it. It's so much better because you see the full cast. The mystery character is like part of the logo, even. So it's like, here's the outline. There's something mysterious. I'm sure that I forget exactly what that translates into, but there's more going on there.
And it at least says it's an RPG at the bottom.
And you can see, well, there's the four standing together like as a party, so it even kind of gives you some of the gameplay messaging there again, versus getting nothing in the North American cover.
Right, you have an idea of you're in for something different.
This is the first box art Sonic's looking at the logo.
Yeah.
Is it because Sonic has learned to read? Is he literate now?
And no,
he completely forgot that he was in a game until just now.
He's looking at it. He's looking at it backwards, and he can't read it. He doesn't know what it says.
He's like, someone read this to me, please.
Right. Okay. The Japanese translates into invaders from the dark dimension, so it even tells you. Ooh. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, that font. The font looks kind of, Layton-y, Ace Attorney, like that sort of.
It does. Wow, it does. I was going to say this one's bad. I like it for the reasons we've said. I like that. Is it Shade is part of the logo? Was that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that she's there. I like that everyone's here. Sonic's eyebrows. I don't like them, but whatever. But it's just so much of it is white, and it's lighting them up, and it's really distracting. Like, I try to look at anything else in this image, and I just keep getting sucked into the void.
Yeah.
Is he supposed to be like glowing? Are they all supposed to be glowing, or like? Yeah, that's confusing.
I guess.
I feel like
was this part of the game?
I think it's just the light from it's illuminating them because there's the
because I feel like if they moved the floating island ship thing to the leftover a bit, so you don't have all that white space, it'd probably look a lot better.
Yeah, that would help. I will agree with that.
Yeah, strange.
I have one that reflects what Mexi said about Sonic Chronicles West box art, and that'd be.
I was gonna put that too. I was like, God, it's like look here, because you have the original Sonic Adventure cover, and it's like, oh yeah, it is stylish. It's got that amazing got that amazing 2D art. It's like it's simple, but it works. And then this one's just fuck it, just put a really bad model of Sonic, and then a even worse model of Chaos in there.
It's not that the model of Sonic is bad, it's just they posed him in such a way that you wouldn't even know what his character outline is. Like, if this is the very first time you've ever seen Sonic, you'd be like, what, is that a fish?
He looks like he has like a snake-like texture to him, you know what I mean? Like, if you touched him, it'd be like weird grooves or something. Yeah. I didn't even think of this box art. This is definitely a contender for one of the worst. Which is a shame, because it's Sonic Adventure, and I love that game, but holy shit.
Yeah, that is one that always sticks out to me, because I was just about to post it 2 seconds before you posted it.
And they do the cool, I like the Sonic Adventure aesthetic, where it's like, here's pictures of a real world, and we've applied our weird Photoshop filters to them, but it does not work here. It's so busy and bad, and ugh.
Like, even...
There, perfection. That's the way you do it.
Feels so
right.
Good.
Palette cleanser.
Who's the artist who did this again?
Yuji Uekawa?
Yeah, Yukawa.
His work is always excellent.
Yes, Yukawa. And I enjoy early Yukawa because he's still it's a bit more. Well, I guess modern Yukawa I like too, but there was that weird Sonic Channel middle bit where it's like, oh, he's drawn Sonic forever. It's very static and boring. Like, some of the poses were boring, but here it's like he's experimenting with the idea of Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, this is almost one of the first things he drew when it came to ooh, what can Sonic be? And so it's very dynamic and different, and it sticks out. And even the way that Sonic's kind of curled up in a ball like he normally is, it tells you this is Sonic. There's things that are familiar, but clearly things are different. And even the original logo that has the texture, and there's the ocean and the beach and the palm tree and the sky, it's it all mixes together, oh yeah, we're gonna go on a cool adventure. And then you see it on GameCube, and it's so even the logo is so much worse than the original.
Sterilized.
Yeah, it is sterile. There's nothing dynamic. It's just like, oh, here's Sonic, the word Sonic again, but it doesn't even look normal because of the way it's all.
Like, look at Sonic Adventure Together, and then look at what the new title is. Like, you have Sonic Adventure again, but you have the DX as well as Director's Cut. Like, I feel like even on that title alone, you could do some editing. You could do Sonic Adventure DX. Or you could have done Sonic Adventure Director's Cut. The fact that it's both on there, and the fact that the original title is like a whole different font and smaller, it's just very weird.
Right.
Like, they could have just shifted that director's cut to the left and dropped the DX and then made it bigger and more prominent. Yeah, what the fuck happened here?
It's also not a director's cut. There's
it's also not a director's cut. Iizuka didn't... Ugh.
He didn't. No, because it's the same game except for...
The box art lies. Not only is it bad, it's lying.
Right, because a director's cut would imply that content that was originally intended for the game has been added. But the only things they add are the Metal Sonic, you get all the emblems, and then the mission mode. And those weren't
and all the Game
part
Gear
of the
games.
original plan.
And the Game Gear games.
The Game Gear games too. Those are all.
The.
Oh, that's a flawless logo right there. Look, perfect.
Sonic's design in the
No
original
notes.
is so iconic. Sonic's design in the original is so iconic that they used it for a spinner game.
Right. Well, he's in the perfect shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to point at whatever numbers you want.
Mm-hmm. So
it's a pose that makes no sense, but you can't argue that it's not iconic and memorable. So, to me, it works.
I love when they show how many bones to break are necessary to even achieve the Sonic Adventure pose. It's like, it's iconic. It's deadly.
Yeah.
It's a triple threat. I have one from the DX era that is going to be controversial, but it'll be quick.
Let's do it.
And you can hear me out on this one. I'm just going to post it.
Okay, here
this
we
one's
go.
Air quote bad.
Ooh.
And the reason I say that is because if I'm 8 years old in Toys R Us and I'm looking at this, I don't know what this is. It's supposed to be a collection, but they're just kind of there hanging out.
I feel it's in the
Tails
same
is like-
vein as the advance covers there, where it's like, okay, let's just line the characters up.
Right. It is like Sonic Advance, but even less because there's only 3 people.
But but it's even closer scrunched up. Like, now there's no background.
And they bother to put in the emblem ring back there, but you have to like squint and go, oh yeah, that's that thing. Why is that there?
I didn't know that was... I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
See, the
John
funny thing is
Sega, what were you smoking?
And see, the funny thing is that Mega Collection Plus was my first introduction to Sonic, and it was less the design. Like, I mean, it was it was more so the fact that it was like in my cousin's Xbox collection, and among all of the M and T rated Xbox games that you would like imagine in the collection, then there's Sonic. There's Sonic there, and I just see I see this cover, and I see the cartoony characters, and I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, it's hidden because I'm like, oh, because I like those cartoony things, it's like from that aspect, it was like, oh, it did end up succeeding at grabbing me in that way. So like,
Yeah, I guess that's the other shoe drop of what I was going to say is like, even though I think it's bad for saying this is a Sonic collection, it is really good at catching your eye, especially against other games.
It got you.
I do think I think this is a better Sonic Heroes cover than the regular Sonic Heroes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Did anyone pick that one? Reveal your hand if you picked Heroes.
No, I did not pick Heroes, but
I didn't pick Heroes. I don't think Heroes is bad, but I just think as a like showing off the 3 main characters, I just like the 2D art a bit more than the kind of like the 3D art that Heroes uses.
Right.
Well, since we're on the topic of Heroes,
Uh-oh.
I mean, we could just look at it. Like, it's not like this. It's not bad, but it is weird because you have these 3D models, but then you paint it on mouths.
Yeah.
In Photoshop.
Makes it look like they're hot air balloons.
And I talked to Mexi about this earlier, but he's like, yeah, this is Sonic Heroes, and you have 12 characters, and you only show 3. And it's 3 that people already know. So it's like, it's good, but at the same time, it could be way better.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, if we were doing a best Sonic logos, Sonic Heroes probably up because Sonic Heroes is a pretty damn good logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. It's
next to DX Director's Cut. Oh man, magnificent.
Next to Sonic Mega Collection
right,
Plus.
Right.
Plus.
Yeah, well, I guess then you'll be annoyed because in the Japanese version of Sonic Heroes, you get everyone.
Everyone's
here.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't have had everyone because that doesn't look any better. They're all dead.
Oh no.
They're all dead.
No, it's the way that they did it. This could have been executed better.
Yeah.
If I could throw out a maybe hypothetical, I love the Japanese Knuckles Chaotix box art. I think it's just so fantastically simple.
Ooh.
Something like that with all of the characters on it might have been an idea. I don't know, but
Right. Well, it would have been a good idea.
I think it
That's
would have
like
been
a
really
nice
nice.
little callback too, because they're back in the game. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. I guess that would have forced them to acknowledge Chaotix, which at the time, even though they were like, yeah, we got the Chaotix back, but that game didn't happen. We promise, even though we could.
But like, speaking of like another cover that draws zero references to what's in the game, like let's look at the Japanese handheld generations. So let's look at this. Like they reused the Green Hill background again, and then they used two separate drawings of Sonic that the art doesn't even go together. They got one Sonic and they got another Sonic, and they're like, let's put them on the cover so that they kind of even fold over each other. And yeah, called it.
Oh, they're not even scaled
No.
properly. Look how small Classic's hands are compared to Modern.
And just shipped it.
I mean,
Like it's a simple lazy. Like it's not even like because
it's-
it's the idea of having Sonic and Classic Sonic back to back on your handheld title cover. Like I mean, Rush does this fine where it's like here's character, here's new character. Like it's cool, it's sleek, it's fine, but it's like they tried to do it with here's Sonic and other Sonic, and it doesn't really come across as like it's not even cohesive.
Yeah.
It's not a really good
That's-
cover in my opinion.
That's even the Rush pose, I think, right? Like,
I think they were going for that, but then it's just the classic Sonic just startup pose. So it's like they weren't really even picking poses that worked together. Like they could have had him do a similar pose or something, but they were just like, pick that art, pick art B, and for that one art D, and like roll with it. We're shipping.
It also doesn't help that the Japanese version has the added subtitle at the bottom, which also squishes makes the art squish even more. So
they could have just used the HD box art and like cut off the tops and bottoms. Like they already had a custom made one. I don't know why this exists. I almost brought this one, so I'm glad you did. And a really small thing, I hate the blue at the top and bottom. It just like, I'm trying to look at the blue Sonics, but then my eyes are like, oh, that's blue up there. Maybe I should look up there. Oh, there's nothing there. Loop around.
There's nothing there.
And you can tell it's so that the art like doesn't need to take up the whole background. It's like, no, like use it, like spread it open. Like you don't need to widescreen the cover art.
I can at least respect they were trying to put the menu aesthetic on the cover, but maybe keeping it with all the yellows and reds and whites might have helped a little more on that. I don't know.
I guess they wanted to make it clear that it was a different experience than the HD version, even though, of course, it is because it's on the 3DS. But
and it has a subtitle in Japan, so they would have known.
Well, yeah. I mean, they had their own subtitles. Because wasn't it like white space time in the HD one, and then I forget what the other one.
Funky 3D action, something like that.
This isn't helpful.
The Time Eater's Steely Gaze,
Well, because I was looking, I'm looking at retro, but they just typed it in Japanese. Sonic Blue Adventure, that's what it says.
That's it?
Oh, man.
That just makes it sound like those Crash and Spyro games on the Game Boy.
There's some. Well, at least that's what Google Translate told me. So if it's not actually Blue Adventure, I apologize.
God, I hate when games have to rip off the Game Boy Advance Crash and Spyro games. It's just unbecoming.
It's such a common problem, too.
All the time.
Every game. Man. Can I throw one into the pot? I haven't thrown any into the pot.
No, start.
Yeah.
You haven't?
No,
Catch up.
No, I have thrown 0 into the pot.
Oh.
David's been supplementing
Time
us
for a
so far.
concentrated
That's right.
dump from David. Hang on, boys.
Okay, well, I'll start with this one because I don't know if it would occur to anyone else, but it personally bothers me. Maybe it's just me. but it's Sonic 2-in-1 on the Game Gear.
This is clever. This is a 2-for-1. They're both bad.
Yeah, I
thought about this one.
I just kind of it's the logo. Like the logo is so big and it takes up so much. It takes up the top and the bottom, and that it's very tiny. Tells you what the two are meant to be, and it doesn't help that it's using the original standard like Game Gear outline. Like it could be a little bit bigger if you didn't have the grid in the background. Like haven't we moved beyond the grid at this point? I guess not. And it's just it doesn't. The whole thing just really bothers me, and it doesn't help that for some reason this is the rarest Sonic Game Gear game that exists. So it's like hundreds of dollars, but it's like, why would you buy it? Look at that logo. I'm gonna say no.
Wow, and here I thought he wasn't going to be able to get critical.
Yeah, like I'm not good at centering stuff with my eyes, so I get it. But it's the 2-in-1. It's off to the right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's destroying me. Why?
Your soul aches.
And the Sonic 2 plus Sonic Spinball, I guess I don't know where else you put that here. Because if you put it below the above Sonic, you're covering up Eggman, which arguably is a good thing here.
Right. I guess you could put it on the back of the box, because it's not like Mega Collection says all the even the original Mega Collection just says, oh, there's 7+ games. It doesn't give you a list. It's on the back. Sonic Jam, it'll just say 4 games. It's telling you it's 2-in-1. There's 2 games. Do you want to know what they are? Look at the back of the box. You don't need it on the front.
Learn to read.
It would almost be a better idea to make the kid pick up and look at the back of the box, because then they put a little effort in, and then they're like, well, what am I going to do? Put this back on the shelf? I guess I'll buy it, but...
Right. They'll be excited. They'll be like, oh, Mother, you are purchasing...
Mother, it's stuck in my hands. We must purchase it at the Children's Palace.
She brought me here specifically to buy Sonic Schoolhouse, but I pray to wish to purchase the other game.
If only she'd let me purchase 2-in-1, then I can experience the best the Game Gear has to offer.
The best.
Oh.
Oh, right.
His head.
It also
okay.
annoys me because you have the Game Gear version, which has the AOSTH head, and then you go for the Genesis version, and his head is normal.
Whoa.
And just seeing them back to and also the Genesis also has the Sonic 3 Sonic, and then the Game Gear version changes Sonic up slightly, and it just looks all weird when you put them back to back.
Right.
MBM, have you never been here before, MBM? To this side of the Sonic world?
I mean, I feel like I should have known that, like, Eggman had penis head syndrome, but I feel like I may have blocked it out, so...
Well, right, that the Adventures of, because I was also going to bring this up, too, because together, I can't handle it. Like, the Sonic should at least be swapped for it to make any sense to me. Like, you should have that slightly more Japanese version, even though it's not, because it's still Greg Martin, but it seems like it just matches a bit more with an Eggman / Robotnik that looks more like the Japanese version, even if he still has those empty black eyes. But then when you just get like a Sonic that's right, but when you get Sonic that's closer, he's closer to the original model of Sonic, but then you just go way off base with Robotnik because it's the AOSTH version, whose only other appearance on a box art is Mean Bean Machine, and it makes more sense because that's a game that's supposed to be about the show, even if it is just Puyo Puyo relabeled. It's so
There's a third one. There's a third box art where AOSTH Eggman shows up.
Yeah, there is, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's also Game Gear, right?
It's Mega Drive.
Right.
Oh,
that
right.
one.
Sonic compilation.
Yes.
I was just playing this last month. Yes.
I see we've switched the topic to some of the best covers, I see.
Right. At least he looks goofier, but I still don't like that cover
Why does
very much.
Robotnik, Sonic, and Tails all look to be the same weight?
He is surrounded by beans because there's that weird. Oh, right. I forgot about that one. Okay, no. We should at least stay on one before I go. Let's move on very quickly. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about. I mean, Sonic's probably the closest on model Tails is goofy, but Tails can be goofy sometimes. And then but they're also floating over a nondescript
squeezing
field.
his nubbin head.
Like, what is that field about? I don't.
Well, if you look at Robotnik's hand on his head, I want everybody to take their right hand, put it on their head, and tell me if their thumb is in the front or the back.
This is like the Sonic Rival's leg all over again. He just twisted it around.
Yep.
Right. Well, maybe he has a robot hand.
I feel like he's about to unswerve the top cap of his head and start filling his head with some beans.
There you go. Or let some more out.
Yeah, he's too full.
This just looks like Sonic the comic work to me, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, maybe it's meant to appeal, because at this point, Sonic the comic is very much a thing. Yeah, I don't. It's. I mean, I guess the same thing with the Spinball cover. They're like, oh.
None of these invoke happiness in me. Like, how did any child get into this series with these covers? Jesus.
Well,
I at least like Sonic Compilation, because sometimes when I first look at it, I'm like, oh man, it's Christmas themed, and it's not. Oh, what is this?
That's a schwanky cover. Look at that one.
Isn't that interesting?
Dr.
Right,
Robotnik and his Mean Bean Machine.
Yes, that's the French version of Mean Bean Machine, which also has
that text is.
Right. For some reason, France got a unique cover, and I'm not sure. I mean, I love it, but it's also so strange. And all those beans are talking.
The fact that Robotnik has decided to go blonde in this cover is, I think, a brave decision. Very bold.
I love the back of the box art too, where they're like, how do we fill all this empty space? And just stretch the fucking game image out. I don't know, dude. What do you mean they can't read it? I don't care. Ship it.
It is,
Ship it.
Right, none of that text is in English. I guess because it was only in France.
I want this box. This is great.
Import it.
I feel like, yeah,
I
feel like this would be a
might.
cool, like, t-shirt, would be this cover here.
Yeah.
Well, I think this art is used in one of the Sega collections that came out, either this or last gen or whatever. One of those, Sega Genesis Classics 50 game ROM, I forget the actual name, but they use this cover for some reason.
Do you mean like the bootleg ones?
No. It was one of those official Sega releases, like the Sega
Like
Mega Drive collection, or that like, I forget if it's the PS2 one or if
Sonic's
it's like
Ultimate Genesis collection?
Right, that's what they called it in the US. That it might be that one, or it might be the successor that came out the generation after. I forget, but it's in there. I'm not being helpful.
That's okay. I don't feel like I saw this in any of those, but also you're David, so I guess I trust you.
Right, it is in one of those random.
You can use yourself as a source. That is one of your powers.
I am a source. I am a source of something. But yes, it is one of those Sega collections that has like a million ROMs on it, and that's it.
I have a very inoffensive one I can toss in real quick that I meant to earlier but forgot.
Okay.
Just because we're getting to the worst of the worst here. So this one's pretty inoffensive, but it also just kind of bothers me. The Jet Sonic World Adventure box art. You'll notice a theme with all my worst in that they're all very busy, but it's the things about this that bother me. Like that Apodos picture is just the cutscene. That's just the first frame of the cutscene. And I think that Savannah Citadel in the top left is like from the leaked Sonic Unleashed trailer? Maybe? But you can't tell what's going on really with any of these photos, yet they're there.
Yeah.
I know the theme is like, oh, it's like our scrapbook of like where we went, but no.
Yeah, it is busy in the wrong way.
It doesn't help that the shattered earth, you can't really tell it's a shattered earth at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a bunch of muddy colors.
It's got a little crack in it.
Oh,
it's got this like
there.
It's just a little crack. You could get some putty.
If if you didn't know that was the Earth, that could just be a rock with some light coming from behind it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like you have the yellow sun in the foreground font, and you already have the cracked Earth in the World Adventure logo.
The logo.
So it's super weird that they doubled up on it, but like it I get what you mean by scrapbooky vibe, but like it gives me like it's trying. This looks more like what the like Scholastics like book version of Sonic Unleashed would look like. Like they would just throw pictures from the game on the cover and be like, "All right, give us your $10." But like, this is not good for an official. This shipped. He said ship it.
Yeah. This looks. I thought I had to double check to make sure this wasn't like a weird fan made cover or something, but no. I also like that banner at the bottom.
Wow.
I know this is just a Japanese thing, I guess, but I just love that there's an exclamation point and question mark on the product packaging.
I wonder what it says. I bet it says something cool. Like maybe it says, "Whoa, running? Yeah, you'll do that here, but do you want to?
Quick, hide behind this paper with an exclamation point on it."
Why do you think that they really loved this model shot, this whole half Sonic, half Werehog? Because it's on every cover. Like, it's on the mobile version. Like they
after they rendered all those cutscenes, Mexi, they only had one render left in the budget.
I mean, it must be because they really like. There are some covers that they could just go without. Like that logo is pretty good. Like I don't see, and I know it's to show you especially because the Werehog is such a big deal. Like you basically have no choice but to put it on the cover. But it's just. This is not even that like it's cool like on that first look, but like I've looked at it for a while now and I'm not liking this mod. Like they could have done something more fun to show like, oh hey, Sonic and the Werehog together.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean the back of the box does it.
Like they could have taken a page out of their own book, done Sonic on the front, Werehog to the side, and make it even like ambiguous, like, oh, is this a new character? Nope, it's just Sonic.
Right. Well, because the back of the box, like this is the
Something
image
like
without
that,
the tag. Yeah. Or another picture I always liked was the original like the original unveiling of Sonic and the Werehog, which
of him on the Spagonia Street at night.
Yeah. Like, okay, so
right there. See, that's good. I was
gonna post this as a bad one for haha lols, but like now I'm kind of thinking about it just like as a game to show that hey, two characters together, like this works if you're just gonna show them back to back. I don't know why they were so enamored with their like polymorph model there.
Yeah, I guess somebody thought it was really clever and then went, oh, we're gonna put it on every cover, like that's the cover. And I get it in some sense, you know, you want to be like, well, it's Sonic and he's in two forms. People love the half and half faces sometimes, but
and like duality is a theme of the game, I guess, kind of. So like it makes sense,
series
but
at this point.
Right, Sonic's always dueling with himself. There's a game called Sonic. I was playing Sonic Generations. There's a lot of missions in there where you're just racing yourself,
past and present, day and night, light and dark. Like this is not just Kingdom Hearts shenanigans here, baby.
Right. Good and bad games.
Always. Well, you mentioned what technology and nature, like in the first game.
Yeah, it's always there. It's makes sense because even in Unleashed, you got multiple layers. Because I mean, even Gaia is two parts. Or in Sonic 06, Mephiles and Iblis, that's two halves of a whole. Solaris, Eggman, Robotnik, left and right mustache.
We've already talked about Robotnik's two heads.
Right.
There's a two-head theory.
It unswivels.
Right. He adds a cone when he goes back to visit his mother because she was like,
Okay, I got one more, so I'll just get this one out of the way before we get to the really bad ones. So this one's oddly specific, but may I present the Platinum Family Hits version of Sonic the Hedgehog 06. So let's start with this cover. Every word on this box art is a damn lie. One, this game is not family friendly. The only thing platinum, I'd say, would be like the surface of Sonic's eyeballs. And the only thing that hits is the soundtrack. And since when has Sonic been 6? Like, this is, in my opinion, the worst box art Sonic game,
Wow.
whatever. This is the worst. This is as bad as it gets.
I didn't think about the modern budget re-releases and how those impact the art, but man, that Platinum Family Hits
Yeah,
archetype thing here. Oh,
it hits you.
it's really. I feel like I get a taste in my mouth looking at this, and it's not just because this guy has fingers in there. Is this you?
Is that who?
I just want to make sure that wasn't in BM's hands before I went.
The
Oh,
finger-
They're not mine. I've been
assumed-
keeping them to myself.
I assume you took that picture online.
okay. Yeah.
No,
I
not
don't-
mine. No. Sorry, I just got this one. That is not my copy. I don't own a copy of 06.
Well, that's
Okay, good.
a problem.
That's the copy I own.
You should you should buy one right now. I want to
Yeah.
hear you log onto eBay. I want to hear you search it.
Speaking.
He doesn't want to see it. He just wants to hear it.
Speaking of budget
And
boxes.
bye.
Speaking of budget boxes.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it's a budget box.
That
That's really that's the whole
Right.
thing.
Wow.
This one doesn't strike me as too bad.
What is with these 2-in-1s being so bad? Jeez, Sega.
Well, at least it's
It's not that.
it's better than the Game Gear 2-in-1, but right. Or you know, sometimes they get fancy. If we want to rewind back to the European Sonic 3, there's always the
What the hell?
Oh,
That's just an
right.
album cover. What the heck? No, that's a book.
No,
That's a book.
You can't even see the Sonic 3 logo, and they just put Sonic 3 under it.
What is this?
They snuck Knuckles into Angel Island on the back shot there. Look at that. He's like,
There he
oh,
is."
I'm huge and I'm big.
oh, he's about to murder Sonic because he took a Mega Mushroom. It's a crossover.
At least the person who made this cover had the sensibility that they knew that the Knuckles was good enough that, oh shit, even if I can't get them in the quarter of the front cover that they're using, they made sure to throw them on the back. So hey, at least they're not wasteful.
I do like. I love the back. I guess we're gonna have to show the full scan. The text behind 6 great levels, all these special stages. But then in the box right there, invest in the best, the ultimate platinum collection. Don't buy just one, collect the entire range. Then rush for the gold collection. So it's like you gotta buy both. Metal with attitude. Don't know why it's metal. Oh, I guess platinum
really
and gold are metals. That makes sense. Never mind. And then the huge stock underneath. For all your hints, cheats, and tips, call the Sega hotline. Ooh, it's a 902 number. I'm assuming you would have to pay for that. This is from Australia. Just so to give it some context. Although, yeah.
It says,
yeah.
it says made in Japan right there. No, we blame Japan.
Well, yeah, where do you think they make it before they ship it and sell it?
I'm just thinking about this rush for the gold collection thing. Like, it'd be really funny if the gold collection was just the same games, but in gold packaging. And they're like, the collectors will buy it. Those Sonic freaks will buy anything.
That's right.
Actually, I'm going to Google
We'll
this.
just sell them a Mario amiibo, but it will be gold.
Right.
Oh,
So there were
don't mind me.
8 games in the Platinum collection, and there were looks like 12 in the
Oh.
Gold collection.
These look worse. I don't like these.
Oh yeah, the Gold collection. Oh,
Share them,
Oh,
Chris.
wow.
They're coming.
Share
Share them
them.
with the class.
right there
I
you
got
go.
that thunderstorm
Same source.
internet, so it's a little slow. But yeah.
I mean, I get what they're trying to do. It's like, I know I called it out for being like a book, but it's meant to be like, you know, these are the volumes for your game library, but it's like not at the cost of the cover art, guys. Like, it's the
It is the
reason
best-
they're so good when they're good.
Oh, the Gold collection has Sonic in the corner.
That's true. It does.
Right, even the one that has Sonic. The Platinum collection does not have.
This cover
Sonic.
features 100% more Sonic.
It does, yes. And
I
then
don't
just
think
for
I even-
reference, the Platinum collection,
Yeah.
in which Sonic and Knuckles is still a bigger box. So there you go.
I don't think I even dislike like what these are going for, but like check out this Sonic 2 one. There's just so much dead
I don't know,
space
but-
between that gold collection and Sonic 2. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
Show the
This gives-
two.
This gives me all really bad, like, McDonald's collectible Disney Cup vibes.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's got that energy to it.
It's like, collect them all, and then collect them all again. It's like, I'm good.
That's right. Well, and then you'll have 21 games, and I guess they're supposed to be the 21 best games on the system, even though the original Sonic is not in either set.
So it's a lie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Big ol' lie. Right.
I'm gonna post my worst. Are you guys ready?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
Here
break
we go.
it down.
Are we?
This is the worst one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Because you know the plot of Sonic Adventure 3 once again is dealing with duality. This
go.
time,
Sonic fights
you know,
himself.
I mean, we still have the themes of let's post Sonic on the cover and just throw on another character. Valid.
right. So
What
instead
if
of
the
it being
tornado
Sonic and
was
Shadow-
kind of here?
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Hey, what
well,
if the police were also kind of here?
well, because Tails doesn't want to be involved all the way. You know, he's looking at this. He's like, which one is the real Sonic? Because that's an important question.
Tails is neither a friend nor foe.
I think we should stop this because, like, this is just a fan made thing.
No,
Let's not
no,
continue.
it's real.
No.
You played Sonic Adventure 3.
I remember back in like
This is
I
real?
remember back in like the 2007 was like the peak of terrible fan made covers like this one.
Oh,
What's
Like,
terrible about it? This is also perfection. God.
all the Silver
This
the
is
Hedgehog-
super gay. I
all
love
the
it.
Silver the Hedgehog
Wow.
game covers.
I feel like I wish Secret Rings had that font. To be honest.
yeah. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
kind of
like
sick.
that-
I'm not gonna lie.
That's and the Secret Rings. That should be the font right there.
This looks like Silver's trying to sell a perfume. Silver.
Smell
Well,
ear the hedgehog.
he had to do
Calamity.
something once he was stranded in the present.
Calamity
Hey.
from when all your friends leave you in the apocalypse.
Right. Oh, I mean, if we're gonna talk about bad. Hold on. Where did I put it? It's here somewhere.
Let me search my files.
I do need to search my files because I got that's the wrong folder. Because we're gonna talk about really good, like good box art instead of bad box art. Yeah, this one right here. I think we got to talk about.
Oh,
Winners
for they
every
call
day.
me fast, yet they do not know why. Oh, this is optimized for the Series X. This is new.
Yeah. This is
David, who told you could post a W this huge in the chat?
well, you know, I've been keeping this one close to the chest because I didn't want it to be leaked before it was announced.
I was gonna say, is this yours?
Oh.
Is this your Sonic?
I did make this, yes. That's why I can make fun of it.
It's like halfway to being like artistic with the
It's getting there.
triangles and everything, and then I look at his face and I'm like, oh. Like part of this
I
is
love-
impressionist and
no,
part of this is not.
I love the whole thing with the Sonic that you could have just gotten any PNG of the logo, but you purposely went to move every letter around.
Right. No, that is. I don't know who made that logo. That is a fan made logo.
Oh.
That pops up. Like a lot of bootleg merchandise uses that particular Sonic logo for whatever reason. I think it's because it's one of the first when you search Sonic logo in Google,
Say
or
it's
it
not
was
shuffled?
for a time. But it is good. It is going to be on Series X. For some reason, it wasn't announced in the Sonic Central. I really thought it was going to be part of the Summer Game Fest, but I think they're holding out for E3 to give us all the details.
Yeah, they'll show this during the
I-
concert. Yeah.
I've been holding out on this.
Oh, here we
Yeah.
There.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Talk
pick
about
this one
earlier.
because I thought everyone would bring this one. Yes.
right. I feel like this
Yeah.
when people say bad Sonic cover art, this is the first thing that pops in someone's head, I'm sure.
Speaking of
Like-
Sonics that feel snake-like, look at this guy. Ugh.
It is so weird, isn't it? Like
It's like they're trying to go for a
This-
weird claymation with it. Like, again, I know they're trying to just make him look as good as they possibly can in 3D graphics, but it's like
Mhm.
all you did was just make him. I don't know. You made him spooky.
I I swear I have seen a Sonic the Comic panel where he was drawn like this.
That's because for like a year or two, they made the artist draw Sonic like that. For like,
I was gonna say that was probably the reference, was they had to use the comic to get this look.
Right. No, they were told by someone at Sega of Europe, like they sent this model and said, "This is Sonic. You have to have him on model to this now." And they went, "What?" But they did it. Man, I'm sure there's like a lot of reference we could show right now in the video. You got it?
I feel like the way this design was made was that they didn't know how they wanted to have Sonic facing forward, but they didn't know how to make his spines like look correct yet. So they're like, oh, like we want to be able to show all of his spines, but we can't like do it normally. So they're just like stretch them out. Like they basically made it like this is the blue supersonic glitch from Mania.
Yeah,
basically.
I don't know if anybody knows, but pupils are supposed to be holes.
Oh, they don't stick outside the eyes? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah.
There's that Sonic.
There he is on the cover.
That's so weird. What? Wait, his pupil's casting a shadow in that too. So no, they're...
They are.
See? Or there was an issue where it is literally the head again, but in the corner is the same head. For whatever.
Well, yeah.
They really liked it. They were like, no, we spent a week rendering this model. We're using it in everything.
Cool Christmas card.
Yeah, they were all in. Here we go again. There's issue
more.
136.
Ooh.
Yeah. Everyone
Look at
else looks
Mighty.
normal, but yeah, or somewhat normal. 137 is processing. Thank you. Really? You're just not gonna load.
It's like Sonic is humid and all his hair is curling up.
Oh wow, it gave up.
Your files are too
Discord gave up on
powerful.
you.
Maybe I'll just copy the image address. I don't know why it's not.
We're getting too close to the source, lads.
Yeah. I hope the
Discord's shutting
internet's not
David
dying.
down.
It is. I mean, I can still hear you. I don't know why it's.
So going back to the 3D Blast box art, is he
I wanted to
supposed?
do that too.
Is he supposed to be emerging from the rings in the game? That big red thing behind him?
He's decapitated.
Oh,
He's on display. This is actually the Sonic trophy.
oh my taxidermy!
You know what's the weird? Who just?
Skylar says, "I'm coming in. I'll be muted, so don't worry about me." He's like, "I want to hear the last tail end of this box art."
Ladies and gentlemen, special silent guest Sky.
Oh, do you see it? Do you see
Anyway,
it
There
now?
he is.
Oh, look at that.
What are
Yeah,
those?
That is basically.
Whoa, that's he looks like he's part
Knuckles on the
lizard.
I'm looking at the knuckles on the left.
Tails, what happened to you?
Yeah, like there's a lot going on there.
His toes come to a complete point.
Yes, and I know.
Yeah.
So that version of Sonic just overtook Sonic the comic. So even if you were like, oh, I can look away, like let's say you are the 8-year-old.
I look away respectfully, and yet the comic says no.
Right, like, so once again, imagine you are that 8-year-old, and you're standing in Children's Palace, which didn't exist in the UK. Unless it did. They had some other.
I've never heard of this place, David.
It totally existed. So, okay, let's say you're standing in a British Toys R Us, and you're 8 years old, and you see that cover, the Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, and Sonic is staring at you in his oddly formed polygonal head, and you're like, "Mother, no." So you walk away, and you're like, I'm just gonna buy an issue of Sonic the Comic at the newsstand, and remember the good times. And then...
And your mom sighs, and she's like, "Oh, that's so much cheaper. Thank God."
Right. And then you get the issue in your hand. There's a free gift obscuring Sonic's face. And then when you rip off the free gift, there he is, looking at you. And you realize that there is no hope, that this is Sonic.
No escape.
I just think it's bold that Sonic's hanging out with the dudes from the Mucinex commercials. Like, that's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
If you go back to the game cover, though, it's just weird that the bottom of Sonic's head, it's so black. Like, you can't, it's not lit at all. So that must mean that would apply to everything else, right? Like, his head covering that part of that emblem that he's coming through, that's not lit black. That's, you can still see it even though it's covered in shadow. None of it makes sense.
And why is the ring disconnected at the bottom?
I don't know.
Also, the Flicky's Island text is immaculate. I love it.
It's so tiny.
It is.
Sonic 3D. Flicky's Island.
Well, yeah, that's how you would say it to your loved one.
Oh,
The ring
yeah.
looks like it's made out of rope almost. Like you said, very Toy Story looking.
Yeah.
There's just a lot. I don't.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about that ring and how there is a gap.
I
You
think
know-
about that a lot.
I guess there's supposed. Is there a little one also to the left? You know, like right above where the spine ends. It looks like there's a. Is it supposed to be in 4 parts and you just don't see the other 3?
Oh, I never noticed that.
But it doesn't make any more sense. It
I
just makes
mean-
it more confusing.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just never
Is this
noticed.
supposed to be
Yeah.
hung on someone's wall? like an actual 3D. You know, what is it called? You know, let's say there's someone who's like, I'm gonna go hunt an animal. It's like, well, that's rude. And he's like, oh,
Taxidermy. Yeah.
Yeah, a taxidermical Sonic head hanging on your wall. That's what that is.
Taxmanology.
What's it called? I loved your description, David. It was so great. What's it called when someone goes and kills an animal and it's like, well, that's rude.
First of all,
Well, how do you kill them without being rude? It's pretty rude that you're killing them in the first place.
Yes.
Kill them with kindness.
Right.
Kill them with info dumps is the way I like to do it.
Oh no. Oh, there's so many ways. Well, or it could be like the Hitchhiker's Guide, restaurant at end of universe. There's the cow. Never mind.
Oh yeah, the animal that was bred that wanted to be eaten.
Yes, and was like, it's rude if you don't eat me. It's the opposite.
Do you get it?
That's a spoiler for a 40-year-old book.
the one guy who's an hour and a half into this video is like, "Oh man, oh, come on, guys!"
Can't believe they spoiled Hitchhiker's Guide.
Well, technically,
never
it's
read
the sequel,
that book.
The Restaurant at the End of the Universe.
What do you mean there's a sequel? Oh, I hadn't gotten that far.
David, have all of your choices been chosen?
I
already?
believe so, because every time I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go," everyone was like, "I guess the only one I was thinking about, which I actually like this cover, but I think it's strange because it's different than every other cover that you'll think of when you think of Sonic. So I wouldn't call it bad. I would call it unusual, and that is the European box art to Sonic Labyrinth.
I almost chose this one.
Oh.
I almost chose
Yes.
it.
This
Because-
is 90s computer software to the max.
Exactly. That's what
No.
it looks like.
But it's all color pencils, so it's not. It's someone saw 3D renders and said, "I'm gonna do that on paper."
So I so I mean, it's very different compared to, well, everything else. But I guess it does show you the game.
It does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's going to be keys.
There's gonna
There's
be
going to
keys.
be locks.
And locks.
There's a certain intangible quality to this that I don't know. What are the bubbles? Were those in the game?
They might have been in like the
Those are-
background.
Those are bumpers.
You know, the bubbles.
Oh, the
Yes,
bubbles.
the
Yeah.
bubble bubbles.
I don't fucking know. He's underwater.
Looks like a
It's
Balan
bubbles.
Wonderworld
It's a
level.
labyrinth.
That it could be. Yeah. This
Just like
is
Labyrinth Zone, which has water.
right.
And
but-
bubbles.
Man, is there even... I mean, you don't go through a level in water in Labyrinth, though, because you can't... You don't die. There's no drowning. There is Labyrinth of the Sea, but you're not in... whatever.
Is Sonic only allowed to carry one key at a time in the game, or?
No, you pick up all 3. You can only get
Okay.
out if you get all 3 in any particular field. So
Gotcha.
The fact that he's holding onto one and clearly has to grab two more, I don't know where he's going to put the third one in that cover.
I'll tell you where he's gonna put it.
Oh,
No.
Fortuna.
He's going to...
In a lock that's off screen.
Oh, okay. It's funny,
That's not
though,
so
because
bad.
there's only one lock in that cover. So why would he need all three?
I told you the other locks are off screen.
Oh, but in game, it's just one door.
Off screen from this box art.
Right. Some interesting... I like Labyrinth. It's fine.
It's great.
It's a strange one, but I like it.
Does anyone have any others? Or because if not, I have some runner-ups.
okay.
Go for 'em.
I have no more.
Yeah, we can just run through these real
Okay.
quick. But
You'd run.
this one is just kind of
Yeah.
lazy.
It seemed too easy of a pick.
Yeah.
It's just nothing's really. I don't know.
I like-
It's not pleasing to the eye.
Yeah. I like that they at least try to show. Yeah, like the
it's
characters in the game at least are there. Like they're trying to show something of like the
Right.
mood and the setting, but it doesn't come together very well. Yeah.
Honestly, I
Feel
think, it'd be slightly better if they removed Tails, Knuckles, and Metal Sonic and just had it focused to the people that matter in the game. Just because it feels weird. Oh yeah, like why is Metal Sonic there? And it's like, oh, Tails and
Yeah.
Knuckles, I guess, because they're like the closest importance. But it's like, oh, they aren't really like that well important or defined in the game too. So it's like either have more people in there, or it's like, oh, why just add those two?
If you wanted to raise people's eyebrows, you could bring like all the enemies in and be like, "Why is Chaos here? Why is Zavik here?"
Mm.
Who are these people?
Well, I mean, I
Why-
guess Zavik
Yeah,
is just
he
on
confused them.
vacation, bored.
He's up on the Death Egg, man. He can't be down here.
I feel bad for Tails that he's been demoted lower than the friend character
Oh
Like,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how that
Man.
game goes.
in the franchise since the sequel, and all of a sudden the new guy just is the new best friend. Guess so.
And he's buddy.
Right. Also, it's strange that in this box art they don't use the red one that is in all the
Yeah.
like the trailers and the promotional material. Instead, they went, he's green. And I mean, I get Knuckles is there, so there'd be two red
Yeah.
characters, but at the same time, you've got Sonic, and Metal Sonic, and they're all blue. So,
I mean, it's really weird that they put Sonic and Sonic on the cover for this as well.
I mean, it's a little weird that they put Sonic in the game, but
Yeah.
Damn.
So these are two things that bother me. One of them is just about Sonic character design in general. So I'll save that. Eggman's got this kind
Let's
of.
make that its own video, man.
We'll get there.
I'll be quick. Eggman's pose here is cool, but he's covered up by Infinite in the logo, so you're gonna have to look to see what he's doing. And secondly,
Yeah.
on the topic of poses, and this is more what I was getting at, Infinite's hands cover his entire chest, and he's already a very complicated looking character. So you just look at him on this very busy box art, and you're like, "What is that? What are those gloves? Is he stacked? What is this?"
His gloves make up the majority of his silhouette, and you really don't want that.
Yeah, like why didn't he have his hands out also, or like I don't know, have like a I'm gonna dash at you pose?
Whoa, whoa.
What happened?
No, so
Skylar!
that was Skylar. But
Don't
it was like-
post good
yeah.
Sonic art.
No, what I was trying to say, like, so something like this, like how the wallpaper is positioned. It's like I think that would like if they could maybe like squeeze it down, not have every character, but it's like Sonic, classic Sonic, and like Buddy running toward against Infinite, Eggman. Yeah, you could maybe squeeze Shadow and Zavok there, and it's like, oh yeah, there you go. You got like the heroes versus baddies. You got like the people get like there's like a good distinction.
Could even
And it
reference
looks like a war.
yeah, and you could even reference the Sonic Adventure 2 battle art, right, where they're all kind of going away from each other or something. You could do that maybe, but Infinite has like a
duality.
defined silhouette here, which is nice. That helps him
Because
God,
really,
he
like
needs
with
it.
Forces' original cover, like you don't really get like the meaning of Forces even like coming through. At least with this, you know, I mean, in that first cover, seeing Sonic and Sonic is really bad, but in the second one, since you know you have all your characters, you're like, oh, everyone's joining forces. Or it's like, I don't know, it just works better with. Like, I can understand not wanting to spoil your game with the cover, but if that's just gonna be, you know, the plot of your game is that everyone shows up at the ultimate battle of Ultimate Destiny, then you know what, just you might as well just have it on the front, and then people will get hyped
Yeah.
for it. Like they could have leaned. Obviously, this goes into the game, but they could just leaned into it really hard, and at least it would have been something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your other runner-up? Smooms?
Oh man. This one I don't like just because of Tails.
I almost picked this one as well.
Oh,
I was more confused.
he's so
What is
happy.
he writing?
I just don't like Tails in this background. His torso is way too big. It's bent. His tails are not doing anything that would imply flying.
He's got an ass.
He's
got
also checking out
some
Sonic.
props.
Eggman's holding a soul emerald.
Oh.
It's not a
Oh,
fox.
David, what's it mean?
It's not a soul emerald. Okay, first off, because the Game Gear games are they're gonna be its own separate universe. It is a
What?
flat version of a Chaos Emerald because the
Oh,
original.
boy.
That's the Chaos Emeralds look like that.
David, do you have your own timeline for
Ah.
this?
Yes, we'll do that later.
Coming soon.
Why?
That
Yeah.
that's a tease. We'll do it later.
Tails is just like a fucking bean body. I don't know. Yeah, I never actually stopped to look at him in this box art. That's it's not good.
I have one last
One-
runner-up, and it's this one.
This one's a
which is,
masterpiece.
It's good and bad at the same time, but what bugs me the most is his fucking hand. I don't know what that is the worst angle you could ever put a hand in. It's like, what's happening? It's like a marshmallow melted. Like
His ring finger's getting eaten up by perception alone.
It's like a 3D interpretation of the weird Yuji Uekawa hands, which like you forgive it more in a 2D drawing, but now that you mention that is weird.
They always pose the characters where it's like, here's my fingers as close as possible. It's like, stop. Why?
I can smell them. They're not good.
Stop
Uh-oh.
asking me to smell your fingers, Shadow.
but I just love Shadow's model so much. Like just giving his little teeth.
Oh,
just
yeah.
giving his little teeth sticking out. It's like that's adorable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, this is a runner-up, and it's just me nitpicking
Right.
Yeah.
at this point.
Is he?
And he's a
What's
badass
with the-
gun. That gun,
is
that
that-
gun, that gun is legit cool. I would love to play that. I would love to use that gun in a Ratchet and Clank game.
Mm.
There's so much empty space though in the background. It's just an explosion, a very blurry image of a city. Like,
Is that fire going towards Shadow? Is he about to burn to death?
Yeah, but he's not going to pay attention to it because he's cool.
But generally, when somebody's like, "Ooh, I'm cool," and ignoring the explosion, they're not in its direct path and just standing there. They'd be in motion or walking.
Yeah, usually they're moving away from it. But this looks like he got knocked back into it and he's like sliding back toward it a bit, right?
He's enjoying it. He's like, "This is
Yeah.
it. I'm going to burn." Am I
He
a
can
hero?
chaos
or-
control away from it whenever he wants.
It might be a little too late when you're inside of it.
What gets me is that they had a promotional like trailer or something where he does cock the gun and walk away from an explosion. Why didn't they just take the
Right.
obvious cue and do something like that for the box art?
Or that other image, which is very specifically, he's pointing down, like he's holding a
He's
gun, but
like,
he's
suck it.
right.
Yeah.
He's like kind of it's
The
that
one they use on
promotional
the one
art.
they use on the back of the box.
Do they use that on the
I'm
back?
pretty sure they used. I thought they used the one of him turning around
This
and
one?
pointing the gun. Yeah, that one.
Skylar just wrote sniper scope for my bazooka pistol.
Oh.
It's every gun in one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
It is every gun in one.
But that's a good thing because it makes the weapon like feel like just like seeing Shadow with that kind of like weird like kind of sci-fi futuristic kind of like gun, like, oh, it works. But then you see him with a pistol and it's like that just looks wrong.
Oh,
Maybe they should have used the alien guns in his hand instead, because those are
Ooh.
weird sci-fi futuristic. You wouldn't be
Yes.
like, is that a real weapon or a real gun? They just be like, yes, it's cartoony because Sonic, of course.
I
Rated
want to see
E10.
Shadow hold that sniper scope up to his eye when the
Oh.
rest of it protrudes past his eye and would be like up against his face, the bottom part, right?
don't worry about it.
And
It's
like,
fine.
which eye does he choose, and how does he?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I just think it's sad they had nothing else that they thought they could put on this cover besides an explosion. Like, give the World Adventure cover there. At least they were like, we can put all these pictures on our cover. They're like, we got nothing for Shadow.
Right, they could have put Black Doom on the cover, or the Gun Commander. Maybe the Gun Commander's hanging from one of the windows in the city, and he's like angrily shaking his fist at Shadow.
I'll get you next time, Hedgehog.
Yeah, it's something he could have done. Maybe.
Is there any other covers you got left? Okay, I just have one more stupid one that we can end things off with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sega Pico!
Sega Pico, baby!
It's text is so small. How are you supposed to?
Guys, it's me. It's my game. It's Tales in the Music Maker. Oh, did you know that I am the most interactive learning aid available? It plays like a video game while learning simple elements of music. That's right. I, Miles Tales Prower, invented music. Oh man, you can develop skills in rhythm, tempo for the 32X, scales, and more. Create and animate cartoons. Oh. And there's
Tempo.
friendly characters. What?
Who the fuck references tempo for the 32X?
Oh, I
So
do.
many references, such information. Like, this is clearly the depth of Sonic game content.
Oh, I miss my Sega Pico.
You had one.
I had one. I didn't have any
Wow.
Sonic stuff, but I had that Mickey Mouse game where you travel through time. It was really unsettling in a weird way.
Have you guys ever met someone who capitalizes the first letter in every word when they talk?
Ooh.
Or I guess when they type, not when they talk.
There's
Hello.
some people that do it,
How?
like,
Are
physically.
you? I am fine.
Yeah, Facebook grannies will do it for sure. People,
Why are they doing
it
that?
feels like a MySpace thing. I think people might have done it back around MySpace, Bebo, that kind of stuff.
Bebo.
Bebo.
I feel
Is
like
that like a
I saw it,
booba?
3 years ago.
Bebo was the MySpace killer that got killed.
Oh, who killed it? Was it its
MySpace.
user base? Oh,
Yeah.
Us
Well-
Bebo people respected the platform, but you know,
That's-
neither the right time or place for it.
well, that's why MySpace is still the #1 social media platform on the internet.
How do we
Yeah.
want to end? How do we want to end this?
I guess I should press the stop button.
I guess I should too. No, you hang up first.